Alright, call halal, la YAHAWA, Bahasham, YAHAWASHI, Bahasham, Rakak, Wadash, double honors unto the apostles, great millstone, where I learned the truth from, the leaders, alright, of Israel, and salutations and blessings to you brothers and you sisters enduring and fighting, alright. Basically, I just wanted to get into power and strength. We went over this yesterday on the highways, so it inspired me to do it this morning. Basically, the Lord, He's our strength, He's our power, He's the life force, Like you have that, you had that Energizer Bunny commercial. Well, our Energizer is YAHAWA, Bahasham, YAHAWASHI, Bahasham, Rakak. Excuse the wind, I kind of misjudged the weather. It looked nice out, but it's really windy. But the Lord is our power, man. He's our strength, and even those terms are not really fully understood. Real quick, from I guess you could say a fitness perspective, the terms strength and power, they're usually misunderstood, because people think about it, and I thought about it, and you think about it. If you mention power and strength, people usually think it's the same thing, hand in hand. It's not really important to know the difference. But in layman's terms, strength is the ability. Again, I'm talking about in fitness terms, right? Strength is the ability to lift heavy things, right? And power is how fast you lift those heavy things, all right? So put it into perspective or example, you have a 400 or 500 pound object, a strong, you have those strongman competitions, which that's not the strength we're looking for anyway. That's foolish. That's carnality, man. That's foolishness. You got those big bubbas fucking bulking up with garbage just to put on size and weight. This thing ain't about size and weight. All right. They're lifting 500, 600, 700, 800 pounds. But again, let's say you have a 400 pound object. A person that's strong can lift that object. But did they train for the power, which is the explosiveness, right? You can lift it, but how fast do you lift it, right? So that's kind of to put it into perspective. Now, again, not to go off too much topic, but this ties in with the main point or the main topic. Strength is not in size. It's definitely not the size of your muscles either. Okay, because true strength is developed from your nervous system, which it goes all the way up to your central nervous system, which goes all the way up to your brain, which people nowadays mostly know is electrical. Your brain, your body runs off electricity, which really is just a fancy way. It's a spirit of saying it's a spirit, energy, force. And when you die, you have no ampage, man. Now, when you train your body, right? Because again, people, lift weights to gain mass, to gain size, to gain that outward appearance of being strong, right? Which at the same time they do gain strength, but their training is a little different. They're training for, again, mass, size, which is in the fitness world is called hypertrophy. For hypertrophy, right? Breaking down of muscle tissue, and then it builds up even bigger, right? But you may have like those, you see those guys online outside outside gyms, the calisthenic guys, right? They're doing pull-ups, chin-ups, you know, dips, L-sits, all these things with their bodies. And they're skinny as hell. They don't have no muscle. But you're wondering, how's this guy doing all these things? Granted, he doesn't weigh as much as the bigger dude, but again, the bigger dude can't lift himself up. He can't do those things. So those are different muscles and different ampages, I'll say, that is using. But where does the power come from? Clearly it's not from the muscle or the strength. It's not from the muscle. You already developed your nervous system from your brain. Basically, it depends on how much electricity your brain can give to your muscles, right? Which go down to your nervous system. You know, that's why, you know, you get that pump after a workout and your veins start to come out. And it really, what it looks like a lightning storm. You know, when you're in your forearms and your arms, your biceps. Because the biceps are, or the veins are popping out. Because it actually looks like a lightning storm. You know, electricity, power, strength, ampage, right? So again, my point is, it's not in the size and strength. Pursuing to, was that 1 Corinthians, about the Lord had not chosen many mighty, right? Not many strong. He had chosen the despised and the weak to confound the strong. You know, we were reading yesterday about the various men of the Lord, the prophets, our ancestors, how they were small. We were the smallest of the nations, actually. You know, matter of fact, I'll start with that. We were the smallest, and we brought out the point. Damn, I'm not sure how it's worded. Salakia. If I can't find it, it's alright. But the scripture is basically saying that the Lord didn't choose us because we were the greatest and largest. You know, the Lord chose us because we were the smallest of the nations, right? But we brought out the point about Gideon and his men, 300 men, how they defeated scores of thousands of men, right? They were taking on hundreds of thousands of men and not dying. So how did that occur? Right? That was the Spirit of the Lord, man. The Lord gave that ampage, so to speak. So again, when you think about it, it's really just how much electricity your brain can produce for your muscles or your nervous system to give you that shock, you know, and that ampage, boom. That's why they have those examples, right, or stories of a mother, right, that sees her trapped son under a car, right? She goes into shock and she lifts the car off the child. How did that happen? She didn't do no fucking push-ups or chin-ups or, you know, all that shit. It's just a spirit came on her, man. The ampage went up. So a man that's small as hell, it tells that in Zechariah. You know, it tells that in Zechariah how that a small one among you shall be as David in that day, which David was known as a warrior, a great warrior. Right? So brothers, you know, also don't get carnal, man. Don't, I want to look like him. I want big muscles. I want this and that. And this is a spiritual thing, man. And as much as we say that, majority of people won't get it. Even brothers, they have to go through their own thing. And then they say, oh, I get it now. But we still got to say it. This is spiritual. So when you get it, it hits home. You know? Because I used to think like that too. I want muscles. I want this. This is spiritual, man. This is a spiritual journey you're on. Okay, so Salaki, I couldn't find. I'll go to my first scripture, Psalms 18:25. Salaki, for the rant, I just want to get a point across that it's not the size. All right, the Lord, he'll literally put a spirit, a mighty spirit upon you, which no man can stop. This body is just a vessel. You know, a guy that's huge doesn't mean he's at the pinnacle of strength. You know, a heavyweight guy, a guy that's 260 pounds, and doesn't mean he's a top person on earth. He's strong as hell. He's powerful. You know, he could take you all in one blow. You know, but just because that vessel is huge, the Most High can raise a smaller vessel and take him out. Just put a spirit in him. See, because it all starts with the Lord, YAHAWA, Bahasham, YAHAWASHI. Right? Psalms 18:25. With the merciful thou wilt show thyself merciful. With an upright man thou wilt show thyself upright. With the pure thou wilt show thyself pure, and with the forward thou wilt show thyself forward. For thou wilt save the afflicted people, but bring down the high looks. That's what we're hoping, man. You know, it's like we're on the highways and byways, on the streets prophesying. We see your high looks, your people's high looks, your pride, your haughtiness, right? We see all that, man. And Lord is coming back to bring down the lofty, man, pursuant to Isaiah, was that 2:12? Lord, he's coming back to bring down the haughtiness of you people, the pride. Are we not in fucking Pride Month? You know, a brother said yesterday before camp, he was with someone and you know, he's in a car by the lake, and he hears cheering, and he looks in the mirror, and there's a bunch of fucking faggots on bikes, naked, riding through the streets of Toronto, man. You know, which that's what they do. They have their annual naked bike ride, which is a bunch of fucking madness, and police and squad cars riding behind them on bikes. Bunch of fucking madness, man. Old fucking men naked, riding bikes in the downtown core where children can see. But these devils have the audacity to come up to us and talk about, oh, there's kids around. You got a bunch of fucking faggots riding naked downtown. And then they say, oh, watch your language because there's kids around. But what about the kids that see a fucking 60-year-old man balls? What about that? People are fucking crazy, man. And what they're doing is they're just normalizing it for these kids. You know, where it's no big deal. Right? It says, for thou wilt light my candle, the Lord YAHAWA, my power, will enlighten my darkness. For by thee I have run through a troop, and by my power have I leaped over a wall. Okay, and it's not talking about a fucking 5-6 foot fence. Okay? Them walls in the ancient world were fucking high as hell, man. We're talking about the high gated walls, man. The stronghold walls. David was fighting who? The Philistines, among other people, but mainly the Philistines, man, because they kept encroaching and encompassing. So at different points in battles, man, that means David, they were fighting, and them Hamites had a stronghold, and this man, spirit came upon him, he was fighting, and then he just leaped over it, man. He jumped, so he did a Jedi jump, man. You know what in Star Wars, when or in the Matrix too, when he jumped over the building, he said, free your mind. And what does that really go back to? Faith. Right? If you truly, like Yahushua said, if you truly believe, you can move these mountains, man. If you have a little grain of faith, size of a mustard seed, which a mustard seed is small as hell. If you ever seen a real mustard seed. Right? I think I'm walking up to the wind. Hopefully brothers can hear me, but that's what the Lord said, man.